Getting to know plants.
Hello children, so after another 2 weeks, we have again come back to a biology class. Have you finished doing all the work? Are you enjoying doing the work at home? Okay, so we have already completed first chapter, food, where does it come from, and components of food. Today, we are going to start another new chapter, that is getting to know plants. Okay. Are you all ready with your biology notes and text? If not, please take the notebook and sit for the class. Whatever Rasna Miss is taking, you have to write, complete the whole chapter and only then start the new chapter, that is getting to know plants, which I am going to take you. After each chapter, it is better you leave 2 pages. Okay, 2 sides, 1 page or maximum 2 pages. Okay. If there is anything to complete after, if you remember later, you can write along the same chapter itself. Hope you understood what I said. So today we will be starting a new chapter, getting to know plants. It is a very interesting chapter because we are going to learn about the beautiful things which we see around us. When we look around, we can see different varieties of plants, isn't it? There are some plants are very small, some plants are medium sized, some plants are very tall. And they are beautiful. Some of them are flowering plants, some of them are non-flowering plants. Some of the plants produce fruits, vegetables, etc. Some of them do not produce fruits or vegetables. But whatever it is, plants are very beautiful creatures on earth. And they are very important for us because they play an important role in the survival of other organisms. So shall we go on to the chapter? Okay. So when we look around us, we can see different varieties of plants. As I told you before, some of the plants are small, very short. Some of them are medium sized, while some others are very tall. And among the plants itself, we can see some of them have green color leaves. Some of them have colorful leaves. You would have seen in a school campus, there are many crotons which are very colorful. Some of the plants will produce flowers, whereas some others do not produce flowers. So here in this chapter, we will be learning each and every part of the plant. How plants are classified based on their size. So after we finish all the topics, you will be knowing all the details about the plant. So to start with, let us classify the plants according to their size. You know, any plant, when I say a plant, what picture comes to your mind? Of course, the root, stem and the leaves. When the plant matures, it produces flowers and later on the flowers get transformed into fruit. You have learned something related to all this in the previous class. So let us first discuss how plants are classified on the basis of their size. Can you recall what you have learned in the previous class? How are they classified? Okay, they are classified as herbs, shrubs and trees. Some of them are climbers, while some others are creepers. So based on the size, plants can be classified into herbs, shrubs, trees, climbers and creepers. Now let us see what are herbs. Herbs are small plants. They do not have branches. They have slender stem, thin stem. What are herbs? Herbs are small sized plants. Second, they do not have branches. They have tender stem, thin stem. Here you can see a small plant. It is a herb. Herbs do not have branches. There is no branches here. You can see the root system and the stem and leaves. So example for herbs are grasses you can take. tulsi, okay, balsam plant, all these are herbs. They are tender stem and they are very short. Next, what is the classification? Plants, next, medium-sized plants are called as shrubs. Shrubs are medium-sized plants. Their stem will not be slender. It is not thin. They are not having a thin stem. Instead, they are having little more thicker stem, little hard stem, but not very thick. For example, hibiscus, rose. All these are examples for crotons which you see in our campus. All these are examples for shrubs. Shrubs are medium-sized plants. They have branches from the base of the plant, not from the top. From the base, few branches can arise. And the stem is not slender or thin. It is little more harder, but not very thick. Which are the examples? Familiar plants in your locality. Hibiscus plant, rose plant, crotons, all these are shrubs. Next comes trees. Tall plants are called as trees. They are profusely branched. Some trees do not have branches. Can you name one tree which does not have a branch? Yes, coconut tree. Most of the trees have branches. Some plant trees produce flowers and later on fruits. Certain trees do not produce any flowers. But whatever it is, trees are tall plants. They are profusely branched. Some may not have branches. They have thick stem, very hard stem. Compared to shrubs, trees are little more thicker. They have little more thicker stem and they are little more hard. They have bark. The thick covering of the stem is called as bark. Trees have yeah. Next, climbers and creepers. Already all these you are familiar with. These terms are familiar to you. Certain plants, they are very weak stem. Since they have weak stem, they cannot stand straight on their own. They creep on the floor or they climb on certain support. For example, bitter gourd. Have you seen bitter gourd? Okay. Snake gourd. All these gourds, you can see they are weak stem. So, we usually give a support and help them to climb on it. Certain plants, like they are called as climbers. The plants which have weak stem and which are not able to stand straight, they climb on a support, they twine on a support and grow. Those plants are called as climbers. While certain plants which have weak stem, they just creep on the floor. For example, cucumber, watermelon, pumpkin, all these plants have weak stem. You don't see them climbing on a support. How do they grow? They creep on the floor. Such plants are called as creepers. At least 2 examples each you must know. Can you just recall the example for herbs? Yes, tulsi is a herb. Grass, balsam plant, lily plant, all these are herbs. Can you name few shrubs? Yes, hibiscus, rose, jasmine. Jasmine, actually now we have shrubs and also we have old varieties. Shrubs are hybrid varieties. Jasmine. Olden days, the daisy varieties are usually climbers. Next, trees, mango tree, jackfruit tree, guava tree. So apart from the plants which I have told you, you have to write 3 plants which you see around your house under each category. You have to name 3 herbs, shrubs, 3 trees, 3 climbers, 3 creepers. Will you? Yes. You must go out of the house and see the plant, observe the plant and write the names of minimum 3 plants each. Okay? Fine. So based on this size, plants are classified into different groups. What are they? Herbs, shrubs, trees, climbers, creepers. Hope you have understood it.
We shall see the pictures of herbs, shrubs and trees. Here what you see are herbs. And this is a shrub, crotons, which I told you. There are few branches and the branches arise from the base of the plant. This is also a shrub. You can see very clearly the branches. Next we will see trees which are very tall. So herbs, shrubs and trees. Next we will here is a picture of climber. You see the stem is very weak and they climb on the tree. And next here is the picture of a creeper which creeps on the floor. This creeper also has a weak stem.
Next we will learn each part of the plant one by one. So the first part which we are going to learn now is stem. You know, in a plant, stem is the part which connects root and the leaves. You can see the root system and you can see the leaf. So this stem, this is the stem which connects the root and the leaf. This green color which I am drawing here, this is the stem. Stem will connect the root to the leaves. This is the leaf. So stem is the part which connects root to the leaves. We will be learning each part of the plant separately. So the stem will help in transporting water from the root. Roots actually absorbs water from the soil. Root is the part of the plant which absorbs water from the soil. We will be learning the root, functions of the root separately. But the water which is absorbed from the soil should reach the leaves. Why? Leaves are the parts of the plant where food is prepared. So in order to prepare food, the leaf has to get water. So how will the water from the root reach the leaf? Yes, it is through the stem. So stem helps in transporting water and minerals from the root to the leaves. Stem also helps to hold the leaves. It is on the stem that leaves are attached to. So stem will hold the leaves so that it is exposed to sunlight. It also transports water from the root to the leaves. Third, once the food is prepared in the leaves, it is through stem that the food is transported to different parts of the plant body. It can be to the flowers, it can be to the fruit, it can be to the root, wherever the food is stored. For cellular activities, food is needed, energy is needed. So food should be transported to different parts of the plant body. So functions of the stem. What are the functions of the stem? Stem connects root to the leaves. It holds the leaves in such a way that it is exposed to sunlight. It helps to transport water from the root to the leaves. And fourth, it helps in transporting food from the leaf to different parts of the plant body. Have you understood? Okay. Next part of the plant is leaf. So if we take a leaf, let us learn the different parts of a leaf. You can see I have used two colors, one in the center, so that the parts will be clear to you. Okay. A leaf has a stalk. The stalk of the leaf is called as the petiole. What is the stalk of the leaf called? Petiole. Stalk of the leaf is called as petiole. This flat portion of the leaf, the flat portion of the leaf is called as the lamina. Lamina. The center white thing which you see in the center, it is called as the midrib. The center vein is called as the midrib. Stalk of the leaf is called as petiole. The flat portion of the leaf is called as the lamina. The central vein, which I have drawn in white color, is the midrib. And the small veins that arise, branches that arise from the midrib, is called as veins. Veins. So different leaves will have different arrangement of veins. I hope you have understood the structure of a leaf. Leaf has got a stalk, the midrib, lamina and the veins. These veins, the arrangement of these veins may be different in different plants. According to the arrangement or the arrangement of veins in a leaf is called as venation. Next term, venation. What is venation? The arrangement of veins in a leaf is called as venation. There are two types of venation. One, like this. If the veins form a network, from these veins you can see small veinlets will arise. Small veinlets will arise from these veins. And if the veins form a network, we call it as reticulate venation. If the veins form a network like this, we call it as reticulate venation. In grass, all of you would have seen a grass. If you observe the leaf of a grass, I will show you the grass, the leaf of the grass. We can see that the veins are not arranged like this. Suppose if you take the leaf, grass, the leaf of a grass, you can see the veins are parallel to one another. You can see the veins vertical and parallel to one another. So that venation is called as parallel venation. If the veins form a network, it is called as reticulate venation. If the veins are arranged parallel to one another, we call it as parallel venation. So what is venation? Arrangement of veins in a leaf is called as venation. If the veins form a network, we call it as reticulate venation. And if the veins are arranged parallel to one another, we call it as parallel venation. So the two types of venation are reticulate venation and parallel venation. Now I will show you a leaf and explain the structure and also show you the two types of venation. Now we learn the structure of the leaf. The stalk of the leaf is called as the petiole. The center midrib, the vein which runs in the center is called as the midrib. And the flat portion of the leaf is called as the lamina. The whole surface is called as the lamina. From the midrib, this pink color portion, you can see many yellow color things arising. These yellow color ones are called as the veins. So the main parts of the leaf is petiole, midrib, veins and the lamina. And here one more thing I'll explain to you, that is the venation. Arrangement of the veins in a leaf is called as the venation. Here you can see the veins form a network, and this network is, if the leaves are formed, the veins in a leaf is forming a network, we call it as reticulate venation. What venation does this leaf have? Reticulate venation. Next we will see parallel venation. This is the leaf of a grass. Here you can see the veins are not forming a network. The veins are forming parallel to one another. Here you can see this is another grass, and in this grass you can see the venation very clearly. The veins are parallel to one another, and this venation is called as parallel venation. So today we have learnt how plants are classified based on their size. That is herbs, shrubs, trees, climbers and creepers. Next we learned stem. What are the functions of the stem? Next we learned, third, we learned the structure of a leaf. We learned the parts of a leaf. And fourth, we learned what is venation and the two types of venation. I am stopping with these topics because if I take many topics, it will be difficult for you to learn. So this much is enough for today's class. I will be giving you the questions for the worksheet. Please read the textbook and answer to those questions because everything is there in your text. I will be asking you to define all these terms. I won't give you the answer. It is your work to read the textbook and mark the answer in the textbook and copy the same into your notebook. Let me see how many of you will do it properly, neatly and correctly. And also do the exercises in the text. We have covered only 4 topics. So whichever questions are coming from those topics which I have taken, please complete it in your textbook itself with the help of a pencil, not with a pen. So after I complete the chapter or maybe after next day's class, I will be discussing the answers with you. That time you may correct the answers. Will you do it? Okay. So we will wind up today's class. I'll see you in the next class. Thank you.
Here are the questions to write in the notebook. Copy the questions one by one into your notebook, that is in the front side of the notebook, and write the answers from the text. I will be telling the pages where the answer is and you have to read that particular page and copy the answer in your note. First question, what are herbs, shrubs and trees? Give 2 examples each. You have to read the whole chapter. This particular answer is on page 54. So when you start writing the question, please take the page number and read that particular page and write the answer. After each answer, leave a line and draw a line also. Write the date before you start the question answers. Second question, differentiate creepers and climbers and give 2 examples each. This answer is also on the same page. Only one sentence is there, you may write in the same way. But you have to give 2 examples. Third question, with the help of a neat label diagram, explain the structure of a leaf. For this, you have to draw the diagram which is on page 55, figure 7.8. You can label all the parts which I have labeled on the board while taking the class. Explanation part should include, on the same page you can see below leaf 7.3, second paragraph, second line. The part of a leaf by which it is attached to the stem is called petiole. The broad green part of the leaf is called lamina. Next sentence will be on the other side of the page, that is activity 3, below activity 3, second paragraph. The lines on the leaf are called veins. A prominent line in the middle of the leaf is called midrib. So these are the 4 sentences you have to write for the explanation part. Question number 4, list the functions of stem. That answer is also there on page 55. I think only one point is there on page 55. Remaining points you must listen to the class and you have to note down the points in the notebook. You can write in the rough notebook first and then copy it in your science note. Question number 5, what is venation? Write about the types of venation. That answer is there on page 55. You may read and find out. And it's better you give 2 examples for parallel venation and 2 examples for leaves having or plants having reticulate venation. So these answers will be registered properly in your mind. And after attending these answers, after learning the chapter, please go out and observe the plant and see if you can identify all these things which you have learned. Hope you have not forgotten the homework which I gave you after the last class. I had asked you to write the diet of each day and write the diet for 1 full week. I'm sure that all of you would have written, isn't it? So please write the diet, and from that, have you identified the nutrient which you are lacking or which you are not including in your diet? So please note the nutrient, and another 1 week you will write about what all things extra you have added, okay, and how did you overcome it. So after the next week's class, I will ask you to send the notes what you have written regarding that. Okay, fine. Thank you.